Well, they'll be calling you a radical, a really important video. I went back to my city, and my city was gone. So, twofold, the big Z, the spent fuel pools, and their water, and householder. Back to my city. And it was gone. The nuclear bribers. No wonder the Browns can't win. First Energy. They catch them $60 million worth of bribes. Your lead state politicians. House Majority Leader Larry Householder found guilty. So the feds come out yesterday and recommended 16 to 20 years. That's easy if you ask me. If you ask me, it should be life. You know, the FBI office in Ohio is the only one that's got enough balls to go after anybody. You know, they bribed all over this country, including Utah. You know, oh, we don't make it. Well, we sure store the waste here. The energy solutions. So, I mean, but what blows my mind on, I mean, it really blows my mind. Didn't Jim Brown just die, the GOAT? I mean, they did kick First Energy off, from what I understand. Or just don't drop your spent fuel canisters at the big Z. So, first off, let's stay with Ohio. So, I was heavily involved in that. They're going to ballot the nuclear reactors. Why? Why? Oh, jobs. I mean, oh my God. I mean, they'll poison you and kill you, but people make money off of that. You know, sounds like the war profiteers. So, such a sick thesis in this country, all in on this capitalistic rope. Well, if this was capitalism, I mean, government freaking corruption is what it is. And so they get caught. Well, who bribed them? Who bribed them? It takes two to tango, Bobby. So Judge Adams just goes psycho. Judge Adams goes crazy. I want these names, you attorneys, or I will put you in jail. They coughed up a couple names. I don't see the old Biden administration, just like the Trump administration, just like the Obama-Dumber administration. The good Fukushima nuclear energy cover-up puppets. Good. Obey your nuclear energy masters. They won't. I don't see the Biden administration saying, hey, well, what about the bribers? And then we're going after the bribes. What about the bribers? What do you think, Fuku? So, you know, I'm going to do it. Have somebody start a website. We'll make a cartoon. These are the two new characters. This is Fuku, the mutated Fukushima fish. What's that, Fuku? You just have 18,000 becquerels of cesium-137 in you, Fuku? 1,800 times you're just in the Fukushima harbor? What about your cousins, your friends that are outside there a little further? That 1,400 becquerels before they flush. The flush. Oh, Korea's going to go after the cosmetic industry because of jet flashes. What? What? Been dumping the whole time. What? Cosmetics are made out of fish? Yeah. So is meat food. So is meat food. I mean, mutual exclusive. The demic shows up in all the meat worldwide, but you can't connect the dots. What do you see? Fuku and Coco. Coco? What do you think, Coco? Line them all up. Yeah, I agree. The other day I drove off right here and I couldn't find Fuku. Now that guy, don't tell me I left him on the bumper. I come back, he was still laying here. Fuku's been through a lot. So let's talk about the Big Z. I'm the guy that named it the Big Z. So as you know, they blew the dam. No big deal. Let's bail them out in Ohio. Status King Cuomo started all that shit. The city that sleeps never sleeps is asleep. Fukushima, New York. I mean, 9 Mile Point Island, which is 3 times more than 3 Mile Island. Yanni, they build them out in New York. So, Feds say 16 to 20 years for householder and scumbags. What about the people that bribed them? They ain't going to touch them because they're the untouchables. You don't think this is the untouchable club? Well, let's tie this in. The depleted uranium, excuse me. The Wi-Fi's, excuse me. FUKUSHIMA, let's talk about the enriched uranium. I thought we were crippling Russia's economy. We're banning it all. Not enriched uranium. Sent on the state line, the old Soviet Union state line, turning uranium-238 into 235. So the spent fuel pools, there's new satellite imaging that's showing up in there, and the spent fuels are basically just a ditch. That's the way a lot of them are around the world. I don't think people get this. The spent fuel, they think that they're all sophisticated. They do these swimming pools they build all over. By the way, Chernobyl, the worst nuclear disaster in history. Winston, one is more than 3 meltdowns, but we don't even talk about this. That Chernobyl was a brand new reactor. There were no spent fuel pools. It was brand new. There was no spent waste there, right? How about Fukushima? 7 spent fuel pools, 6 at each reactor. I mean, MOX fuel, some of the biggest loads of spent nuclear waste, Zerk fires. You don't think a Zerk fire is a meltdown? So you're telling me one partial graphite reactor, worse nuclear, Ali? Tell me, Ali said so. All of them say so. Scientists mystified, they're baffled, their stuff. They all say so. When you got 3 full core meltdowns, the Soviet Union, Gorbachev, and they entombed it. They didn't do anything with Fukushima. They've never found the cores. Delma Argentina syndrome. Oh, that's where they flew Obama when he gave his speech. I never promised you a rose garden. We'll let you know what I know. But back to the spent fuel pools at the Big Z. 1 is more than 10. Whatever we tell you, Winston, blanch. 1 partial metal Chernobyl is worse than 3 core full core meltdowns and 7 spent fuel pools blown a Zerk fire. That's where, okay. It's spied on my rage. Put the cage over my head. I was right in the cage. Not me. You can go along with it. Not me. God, I've gained back almost 30 pounds of muscle since January. I haven't started to get the muscle returning to my body since 2011 when I got Fukushima, as Sudoku calls it. Sudoku's mother used to call it the atom bomb, the nuclear bomb sickness. That's what I got. I got the nuclear bomb sickness. Sudoku died of MS. Folding paper crane. She got to 644. You know, God bless her, man. So, the spent fuel pools in a ditch. They're laying there in a ditch and water. So Grossi, who I know Grossi, I was there when he got elected in Vienna. All that work I did all those years at the Blanche Box in Vienna. This dress, this exquisite dress, was made in Vienna. We went in Vienna at the IEA. That's where this was made. You know, I added this later when I used to put a sign up on the Idaho right there. No vacancy. That's where I learned, right there in that building. Now, there ain't no professors left. So, status queen Como, bank bailout on chemo. Remember all them good old days? So, Grossi says they're going to pump from the old reservoir. He says, yeah, that was mined. They didn't tell us that. Now he's saying, no, it's not mined now. We couldn't spot any. But it was mined. Well, they didn't tell us it was mined. What's mined? You know, go to Geneva. When I got run out, put on the train, talk about a movie. The 3-legged chair there. That's what mines are. Blow them anytime they want. So, it's just the biggest nuclear act. USA Today, headline, prove the cover-up Fukushima right when 222, Putin loves Tuesday, 222, Tuesday, 222, room 222, Putin, when he invaded, headline story, USA Today, don't say the F word, any of you good media. USA Today, headline, biggest nuclear reactor in Europe, in Ukraine, could become Fukushima-style disaster. They're the same size. I'm the guy that named it the Big Z. Won't talk about that. So, they blow the reservoir, spent fuel. If the water runs off of spent fuel, we call that Zerk, Western Zirconium right there, Little Mountain, Utah, right there. Zerk fires, which once they're on, you can't put them out. Well, at least for a couple million years, you can't put them out. Where are they at? The Fukushima, Japan. Where are they? All those Zerk fires. They were all went on Zerk fire. They all blew to fucking smithereens. Goody mock. Go get a bone marrow biopsy. You know, it's just coincidence. Dead tide pools at your feet. It's a cult. Just coincidence. We can't. I mean, wells collapse, salmon collapse. What do you think, Fuku? Fuku, what do you think? Your salmon in the wells. And what do you think, Fuku? What do you think? What? Fish swim? What? Breaking maze? Jet stream moves left to right? What? My cousins, the sea stars collapse. My cousins, the seals. My cousins, the humans. Huh. Do you know that they use your skills to make makeup? Gonna put on a little makeup. What's that great song? When she lays down, Courtney, oh, in the tide pools. Put on a little makeup. Don't come around me. She lays down in the tide pool. Ooh, ooh, Malibu. Because I radiate. What's that, Coco? Coco? Oh, we got Cesium in San Diego in 2012, but that the full single went away. The Scripps biologists are con men. They're crooks. They all should be locked up. They're not oceanographers. They're not breeding biologists. I know that, Coco. I know that, Coco. I'll be back there soon, Coco. What's that, Fuku? Dirtbags. So they're banning the makeup. They use your skills. Got to put on a little makeup. Ooh, ooh, Malibu. Freaking easy, Fuku. Easy, Fuku. Easy, Fuku. You look a little mutated, Fuku. What about you, Coco? Coco? So, the spent fuel pools. Grossi says they're going to use pumps. That's a long ways to pump water to get into the ditch. Everybody thinks these spent fuel pools are so sophisticated. There's holes in them all over. I'm friends with Sam. He used to be the welder on the Hudson River up there on the India Point. He says, fuck. He says, we used to go to Japan. I used to weld the spent fuel pools whenever, you know, the mob runs it over there. You got to bring this, cash, cases of Cutty Sark whiskey, this, their demands. He says, there's holes all over in these spent fuel pools that leaks out, but you got to keep the water on them. So they're in a ditch. They're going to pump water into the ditch. Okay. And let me tell you something. It's where the water flows. It's where the wind blows. You know, she must have been in love. You know, she died of cancer. It's all over now. So they're going to tell us if there is an accident. They're going to tell us. Did they tell us about Chernobyl? Maybe we can get Ted Koppel. Oh, he confronted Kissinger. He's still running the show, Hunter. If you put in a call Putin right now, would he probably tell you? Yeah. What? Whoa. Talk about the Twilight Zone. So, important. They're not going to tell us. Has anybody told you the truth about Fukushima? No, Winston. Blanche, but Winston 2 + 2. Orwell, 1948 on chemo on Balco, 1984 on Balco on chemo. 2000. What's 1 is greater than 3 core meltdowns and 7 spent fuel pools. At least 1 is greater than 10. 1 is greater than 10, Blanche. Yeah. What is it? Okay. It's 311. It's 9/11. It's whatever you tell me it is. Orwell on Balco. Don't say the F word, Blanche. Never free, never me. Because I did the unforgiven. I said the F word. They nuked my father to death. They nuked Annika to death. I hold their hands both. They put in the body bag. Then the doctor looks you right in the face in 2011 and says you got 2 months to live. And I go into a bone marrow transplant, 11/11, lose the pigment out of my eyes, freaking blisters on my tongue, go down to 119 pounds, wear a market valve, open heart surgery twice, gallbladder gone, teeth gone. I just sit down and shut the fuck up, Blanche. Go fuck lay down and die. What the fuck would you do? What the fuck would you do? 3 core meltdowns, 7 spent fuel pools. I got news for you, freaks. Ali, you scientists are mystified, you're baffled, you're going to get in the club? There's more than 1. No spent fuel pools at Chernobyl. Fukushima's thousands of Chernobyls, if not millions, and they never cleaned it up. They didn't just, we're afraid of nuclear meltdowns, we're afraid of nuclear until they happen. See no nuclear energy, hear no ears, speak no nuclear energy. The nuclear energy emperors, they have no fucking clothes. So the spent fuel, they're not going to tell us anything in Ukraine. I'll guarantee you. Grossi going to tell us? How long did it take them to rank it as 7, Fukushima? 5 years. Oh, it's just 7. The scale only goes to 7. Who set the scale from 1 to? That's malice from inception. Guilty. Householder, 16 to 20 years. What's that, Fuku? Giving life? What's that, Coco? Line them up. I agree. What's that? What about the Bribes, the nuclear energy crime syndicate that did this to us? Big fish eat little fish. You broke the chain. You promised you would never break the chain. What about the people that bribed him? Why doesn't Biden go after them? Same reason his freaking Obama filming out in Utah. The Immunity Act of 2005 went off to Iraq to get a big old sack. Went off to Vietnam to kill the Viet Cong. Went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. Fucking boogeyman invented ISIS. We like Bob Dylan. He didn't Bob Dylan have a song named ISIS? We invent ISIS. Military industrialized complex, war pigs. Make it rain in Ukraine. Depleted uranium coming from Russia. We're blocking. We're going to cripple their habit. No, we got to have that. We got to have the nuclear because of Price Anderson, the free money. How come they don't go after the Bribes? Because I just told you. One day you will wake up and realize the nuclear energy crime syndicate are the untouchables. They can do anything they want to you. Haven't you learned? Haven't you learned who they are yet? Wake up. Put on a little makeup. Wake up. Put on a little makeup. Makeup. Ooh, ooh, Malibu. Yeah, they make makeup out of fish. The scales, they're shiny. They feed the meat, ground up meat food, and we can't connect the dots. Don't talk about anything. Fukushima, don't talk anything to all the world. The bailout in Ohio. Maybe they got rid of the stadium. Maybe they can win now. The great Jim Brown has passed. Oh, talk about a go. Kevin Blanch. Get my muscle mass back. Ready. I'm 63 years old. Remember when I did 60 push-ups right there on my 60th birthday? Oh, I dropped my dry cast container. Uh-oh. I wonder if they'll report it. I wonder if the IAEA will tell us. Okay. They tell us about Fukushima. They tell us about Chernobyl. They tell us about Mayak. They tell us about 3 Mile Island. Maybe we can wait for a next documentary to come out in the year 2525 and man is still alive. What's that, Fuku? What's that, Fuku? What's that, Fuku? What about the kids? What about the children? What about the salmon collapse? What about the Fuktonium fires? What about everything that happened? It's all coincidence? What, Fuku? They're fucking liars? What, Coco? They're fucking liars? What, Fuku, Coco? Yeah. Not me, Winston. 10, 3 is more than 1. Ali, stay tuned. They're not going to tell us anything at the Big Z. Nothing. Spent fuel's in a ditch. No worry, we'll pump water. Okay. Don't believe anything they say. They're patently, freaking well documented, historically liars, and the media plays along. These biologists that taught me right there, they're rolling in their graves. You know, they're rolling in their graves. Don't say the F word. I'm a butcher, what's a cow? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm a zoologist, I'm a biologist at Weber State University. What's Fukushima? Derelict criminals. Everybody's gone along with the cover-up of Fukushima and the denial of Fukushima belongs in a freak. What's that, Fuku? What's that, Coco? They belong lined up. They belong in prison for life. Stay in tune.